Greetings aspirants, hope you are all doing well. Welcome to another video of CC concepts of the subject Science and Technology, and in today's video we'll be talking about the concept of types of cybercrimes. Now, what do we mean by cybercrime? See, there is no definition as such for the cybercrime, but according to the UNODC, which is nothing but the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, it says that any crime which is cyber dependent or cyber enabled or any specific such crime which is related to cyber, which is related to technology or the computers, is called cybercrime. Now, if you look at the different types of the cybercrimes, the first one is cyber stalking. So, what is stalking? Stalking is nothing but following someone's steps and following what they are doing and all, right? So, cyber stalkers take the advantage of the anonymity which is afforded by the internet. Anonymity afforded by the internet because you don't know like what other person is doing, right? So these cyber stalkers take the advantage which is provided by the internet and they try to stalk someone, they try to stalk or harass someone whom we call the victims, who get harassed or stalked, and sometimes without being caught. Sometimes it is very difficult to trace their steps also. So this is the first type, which is nothing but the cyber stalking. Then we have something called phishing. Phishing is nothing but contacting someone, contacting the victims or contacting the targeted persons through either email or phone or text message and posing like how do they contact? They contact someone as a legitimate institution, maybe bank, maybe some company, right? So first they try to contact the victim. Then they try to lure the individuals or the victims to providing their personal data like the bank account details, credit card details or any other personal information and passwords and like various passwords which are very important. So they try to get the personal information which is very important or very sensitive for that person. And when this phishing ends, that's where the wishing starts. Now what is wishing? Wishing is nothing but manipulation. Manipulating the person into doing something good, into doing something which they make them feel that it is good for you, right? So it uses verbal scams to trick people. It is using verbal scams to trick people to doing things they believe are in the best interest or the good interest of that person. Often picks up where the phishing, what we talked about just now, leaves off. Often picks up where the phishing leaves off. Next, we have something called identity theft. See, every person has a particular identity. Like we say ID card, for example, the identity card gives your identity. So that's just to show your identity, okay. But you, as a person, we have a particular identity. So identity theft is nothing but thefting. Thefting, what is meant by theft? Theft is stealing, right? Now we can define this identity theft as stealing or wrongfully obtaining someone's personal information, for say someone's identity, and like what is identity? Person's personal data which is very important for that person. Now how do they get this data? They get this through wrongful means. Like a fraud or deception, and they'll try to demand. They try to probably demand for economic gain, for money. So here what's happening? They are stealing someone's identity through a fraud or decepting someone. So this is nothing but the identity fraud. Then we have something called spoofing. What is spoofing? Spoofing is nothing but trying to be someone else, trying to act as someone else for personal gains, right? So the fraudsters in spoofing pretend to be someone or something which they are actually not. This is mainly to gain the trust. Of that person. The motivation is usually to gain access to systems. After gaining trust, gain access to systems, steal their data, steal money, or spread some malware which is very harmful to them, and they'll try to get the data. Know that malware is nothing but a malicious software. Malicious is nothing but harmful. Malicious is nothing but which is very harmful, that we call malicious. So malware is nothing but a malicious software, right? Next we have cyber terrorism. In simple terms, it is nothing but convergence of cyberspace and terrorism. The main purpose of terrorism is mainly they'll be having some objective of political gains, right? And also to create violence or to create fear. So it is nothing but any unlawful attack or threats against the computers, against the computer systems, or against the government, information stored by the government. This is mainly done to intimidate a government or a person, or the person or the people of the nation. The main agenda would be political objectives. The main agenda would be political objectives. So further to qualify a crime as a cyber crime to be cyber terrorism crime, the attack should result in the violence. The attack should result in the violence against the person, but at least it should be able to cause enough harm to generate fear, and this is how you differentiate between a cyber crime and cyber terrorism, Now, lastly, we have something called as cyber grooming. In this cyber grooming, there is nothing but the fraudster tries to befriend a child online and builds a level of trust, mostly for sexual abuse, with the intention of sexually using the other person. So this is nothing but the cyber grooming. So in this video, we have seen what is a cyber crime, and then different types of cyber crime which are being committed. Thank you.